That is absurd. You know what's a threat to this country? Let me ask you a question. What do you think is more of a threat to this country and the world? Greenland or Vladimir Putin?
I just want to ask you, why do we look like idiots for allowing Trump to go and negotiate to increase our country?
Sure.
When we really look like idiots when
I'll
Biden
explain.
pulled out and left all the weapons over in Afghanistan. Why do we look like idiots? Go ahead.
So first of all, you're mischaracterizing what took place in Afghanistan. So once again, I will try to inform and educate you. They left weapons for the Afghan government. It wasn't Joe Biden's fault that the Afghan government deserted those weapons and they were taken by the Taliban. By the way, the same people that Donald Trump invited to Camp David, but I'm sure you didn't have a problem about that and releasing 5,000 Taliban terrorists. So that's number one. Let's get that out of the way because you're factually inaccurate. Number two, if you're going to talk about Greenland, it was Donald Trump. We have a lot of priorities in this country and a lot of issues that I think we would agree that need to be worked upon. And the last thing on the priority list should be taking over Greenland. And Donald Trump said he didn't rule out military force when it comes to taking over Greenland. I thought your party was the party of peace and prosperity, law and order, the party that doesn't want ill-advised wars. He's already threatened the Panama Canal and now Greenland with military force. As a staunch Republican and Donald Trump supporter, do you support threatening military force to take over Greenland and the Panama Canal? Do you think that's a good idea?
Well, the Panama Canal, if they're violating our treaty, by the way I understand that we could take it back, and they're violating in such a way that our country is at a threat, yes. For Greenland, I don't think, I'd have to look at his exact words. I don't think he said that he is going to go over there and use military force. We're trying to negotiate, and that's what we're going to do. So
we're not
idiots at this point. So we don't look at idiots at this point when we're going for negotiations. Go ahead.
We're not trying to negotiate. The orange orangutan adjudicated rapist who you voted for that's his negotiating tactic. You had Don Jr. And Charlie Kirk fly to Greenland. They got a bunch of homeless people, had them put on a MAGA hat in a picture and gave them a meal. They went to a couple bars and they left. These are not serious. Hold on.
Okay, well,
these are not. Hold on.
Hold on.
I'll tell you what it has to do. It has to do with non-serious people. It has to do with people that are not serious and care about the real issues facing this country. Gun violence, abortion, healthcare. So let's get this straight. Donald Trump still doesn't have a replacement plan for Obamacare. Healthcare is one of the top 3 issues on most Americans' minds in every poll that you look at. And yet Donald Trump wants to take over Greenland, and that seems to be his top priority, at least over the course of the last month or so, but still has concepts of a plan when it comes to healthcare. So is that making America great and making it first?
Well, the thing is that from what I understand about Greenland is that it's a security threat because of the fact that ships are coming through.
Oh, stop it. Greenland has never been a major security threat to this country. That is absurd. You know what's a threat to this country? Let me ask you a question. What do you think is more of a threat to this country and the world? Greenland or Vladimir Putin? Because Donald Trump said he understood why Vladimir Putin invaded Ukraine. And Donald Trump is the guy who sent COVID test kits to Vladimir Putin during COVID. What do you think is a bigger threat to the United States of America and the world? Greenland?
Trump already said that he's going to try to stop. Trump already said he's going to try to stop the war.
Yeah,
so he's
yeah. In that case, as long as you say you're going to try to stop it, I guess. Let me tell you something. He said he was going to end the war in 24 hours. Now, all of a sudden, it's 6 months. What do you think is more of a threat to this country? Vladimir Putin or Greenland? Please answer the question.
Well, the thing is that
you can't answer
we're talking about Greenland, we're talking about what we don't. I don't think we look like idiots.
Al, I'm going to ask you again because now you look like an idiot. With all due respect, I'm going to ask you one more time. What do you think is a bigger threat to the United States of America? Vladimir Putin, who invaded Ukraine and is responsible for killing hundreds of thousands of people, including journalists. What do you think is more of a threat to the country and the world? Vladimir Putin or Greenland? I'm asking you again. Please answer.
Know.
You don't know. Folks, we've reached a new low on PTL.